All right, welcome back to another exciting episode of Focus on Safety and Well-Being of the Village of Carmel-by-the-Sea. I'm Chip Rarick, your City Administrator, Chief Tomasi, Chief of all things sacred and safe.
Public safety.
Public safety, that's the one in the village. I want to talk about, today is the 11th of May. It's 2 o'clock. Sebastian, you're doing a great job recording. We had a little mishap. We did this. This is our only repeat. This is the only one we've had to do so far that we've had to redo. I want to talk about the budget. It's a pretty ugly situation because of COVID-19. We're experiencing a pretty significant revenue deficit for the year, and we recognized it right away back in March when I signed the emergency declaration, and we moved into a very protective mode for our existing capital. We cut all spending that we could. We cut our professional and contractual services for outside labor. We approached council, and just last week they entirely eliminated our capital improvement program budget for the remainder of this fiscal year, as well as next fiscal year. So that's going to be $0 we pump into the urbanized forest. Pavement, sidewalks, buildings. I mean, we'll do the basic maintenance. Nothing's gonna fall down or fall apart, but it's really kind of the basic maintenance. And then the most unfortunate part, after we made all these cuts, every department cut at least 20% from their operating budget. We still had a structural deficit, and what it resulted in is a very unfortunate recommendation that I made to the council last week in closed session, that we eliminate between 15 and 17 positions, non-essential positions, as defined by the governor of the state of California, in addition to not filling 10 positions that are currently vacant. So a total of between 25 and 27 positions that will be defunded for next fiscal year, beginning July 1st. Again, and between 15 and 17 of those positions have an employee in them, which is a heartbreaking layoff scenario that we're looking at. That represents, Chief, 30% of our staffing. Wow. So we will be doing things differently in the future. The level of service is going to have to change, just because we won't have enough warm bodies to take on the tasks. So you will, and things will look different as well. We're not going to do as much beautification work as we have in the past. Again, everything's going to be safe and secure and weather tight, but our weed whacking is going to be a little bit slower. We're going to not wash our sidewalks in the downtown. We're not going to wash the windows at public facilities. We'll be taking on as much as we can with our remaining in-house staff, but again, it'll look differently. The other thing that we're cutting is, do you know how many MUT Mitts that we use on an annual basis?
No, Chip, I
do, because I told you this on the first go. Okay. About 650,000 MUT Mitts annually. And that costs us in excess of $20,000 in MUT Mitts, which is a lot of money, a lot of MUT Mitts. That's actually 73 MUT Mitts per hour, every hour of every day in a year. So people are taking them home, obviously, and using them for other purposes. So we will, not at the beach or along the beach pathway, but in other locations, we will be removing MUT Mitt dispensers. We're going to be asking people to buy their own MUT Mitts. They're expensive for us because we buy so many, but if you're buying them, wholesale for yourself, they're not $20,000. So right. The other thing I want to talk about is we're adding an item to tomorrow's agenda to talk about a pilot program to potentially close Dolores Street between Ocean and 7th and Dolores between Ocean and 6th. And put some tables out there for non-communal community gathering spaces. So somewhere where people can get takeout food from one of our fine restaurants and sit outside, of course, socially distanced. And we'll close that street off with the exception of emergency vehicles, clearly, and delivery vehicles. So something the council will take up and talk about tomorrow. We've got some ideas. We're going to need a lot of help from industry in those blocks because we're not going to have the capacity to maintain those tables and chairs and things. So that's what I have, Chief. What do you got going on?
Correct. Well, I want to talk a little bit about safety. We talked about reduction in services, but you're not going to get that with the police.
Can't do it.
We're down positions as well, but we're still maintaining our service levels, which is a guarantee of 2 officers on the street at all times in our city. Last week, we got hit pretty hard, as you know, with the attack at 13th and also the burglary on Ocean Avenue. But both those cases, as you know, 13th was solved,
Yes,
and we are hot on the heels of the people who did the pharmacy break-in as well. But there's been, considering we are on a shelter in place, there's a lot of people around. There's a lot of bad people around too, and we are contacting potential burglars, actual burglars, people with drugs, people who are getting drunk and driving. And I want you to know that your community is safe. We are out there and we're contacting as many people as we can. We're also doing the beach patrols. We're also walking around downtown. We are working hard for your safety, and I want you to feel comfortable knowing that your community is safe, and we're working hard to keep it that way.
Yeah, and you know, the punchline is, again, if you come to our village to do something bad, we're going to catch you and we're going to put you in jail for as long as humanly possible.
Absolutely.
You know, it's interesting that you talk about the stressors that people are under right now, because Kathy Bang down on Scenic wrote me an email, and it was called More So, 2 words, More So. And what she was saying is that under COVID-19 and all the pressure and stressors that we're all under right now, good people, good, kind, compassionate people are probably more so right now. And unfortunately, the converse of that is also true. People who are nefarious and ill-spirited and bad and mean and dishonest are probably more so. And again, they're coming here, not in droves, but they're coming here, but we're identifying them. We're arresting them when we can.
Yep.
And we're prosecuting them. So anyway, that's what we have. You kicked my butt in Mustache May.
Yeah, and as I said earlier, that didn't go out. My sister probably could have grown a bigger mustache than that in 3 days. So.
Oh God, it was beautiful. It was majestic. It was majestic. So, thanks for tuning in. Wash your hands and in peace and friendship.
And take good care.
Take good care.